In 2025, I love to summon Colossus and pass, so I'm going to show you guys the greatest combo Thunder build that I've been able to find. Leave a like and comment if you dig it, dislike if you dislike, and without further ado, let's dive straight in. Alright my friends, we've got the updated Thunder Dragon combo pile list ready to go for you today. If you guys are a fan of any combo-centric build, whether it be Drytron, whether it be something like Dragon Link, this deck is going to have something for you. Even like Orcus, man, this is a good throwback to the Toss format. It's one of the other competitor decks. At the time, I was not a fan of Thunder, but nowadays, I have really been enjoying summoning Colossus, and I found that this build is the highest ceiling while still being competitively viable build that I could put together. So I apologize in advance, we're using some of the new Rarity Collection reprints, so this is not as much of a budget build as the last one that I showed, but the potential is insane, so let's hop in. Alright guys, starting things off with the Thunder lineup, we've got 3 copies of the Thunder Dragon Roar the Summon From deck. In the French, I'm saying it correct this time, although I liked all the comments I was getting correcting me that yes, they're not German, I know, I'm an idiot. 3 copies of the Dark, which searches any Thunder card. We got 1 copy of the Hawk. We're choosing to max out the Dark and the Roar. If you saw the other profile we did on Dueling Book, we maxed them out to play with one of our other sub-engines, and I finally got comfortable with only playing 1 copy of Hawk, which is really all you need because you can recycle it almost infinitely. And then the final hard Thunder name that we're playing is the Thunder Dragon Matrix. It's another way to trigger your Titan. The 500 boost can come up, and the fact that it's a normal summonable Thunder that you can search is really extremely helpful. But that's it for the package. Very small pure Thunder package, but we're moving on to the next sub-engine, I guess, kind of. It's the best Thunder normal summon. It's the Battery Man Solar. It works extremely well with our sub-engines, and the reason why we want to play this card over something like the Aloof Lupine is because of how small our Thunder package is. So trust me, Battery Man Solar is going to be your best friend in this build. Take a guess why. You'll see in just a few moments. And here we go, like clockwork, we've got the Bystial package, 2 copies of the Lube It Up Lubellion. This guy was kind of expensive, so I said this was budget in my last build. If you wanted to do a budget replacement for this, back in the day, maybe I would say something like Druid Swarms, but again, you can play more copies of Baldrake to replace the Lubellions, but you definitely want to play at least 1 Mag, 1 Druid Swarm, and 1 Baldrake. This is the package that I play for the regular Thunder build and for this build as well. It is phenomenal. Plus, Lubellion subs in as copies 2 and 3 of your Magnamuts, so it's extremely useful. It combos so well with the Solar, so play this ratio. I think it's the best one. But if you need to swap out the Lubellions for budget purposes, not a big deal. And then to go with that package, I actually kind of wanted to keep them all grouped together. I'm sorry, I'm doing a little out of order today. We've also got the branded Regained, which you set off of the Lubellion. It's absolutely insane. One of the greatest soft forms of interruption that also generates advantage. Summoning back the Magnamut, putting back things that you banish off the Little Knight. It's crazy. Next engine, finally showing it off in an IRL profile, we've got the Millennium cards, so the triple copies of the Senjinjin, the 1 of the Golem, and then finally the YuGiOh Temple that gets searched off of this guy. So this is your main 1-card starter. Of course, this costs you 4,000 life points, but hey, so does Destrudo. You summon this guy out, he grabs you this grabs you the YuGiOh, and then the YuGiOh brings you into your Doom Dragon in the extra deck, the Snake Eyes monster that cheats itself out, and that gives you a free rank 8. That's why this package is so good, in case you weren't aware. And then the last package, please don't click off the video, we've got the Fiendsmiths. I've never played these cards in any deck, and the first deck that I'm choosing to play them in is Thunder Dragons, so we play the 3 of the Engraver, the 1 Lacrima, the 1 Fabled Lurie, the 1 Fiendsmith Tract, which I am borrowing. Shout out CJ for spotting me this copy. And then we also play the Fiendsmith in Paradise to go along with the package for the additional form of interruption. It's one of the few things that we can do to play around or through the Forbidden Droplets. How we play through the Droplets is we put up a board so big that you have to send your whole hand to stop it. How do we play around the Dark Ruler? It's the Paradise. And it's true for both of them, really, if we're being honest. But that backup plan play as an additional form of interruption and removal, very, very strong. So if you can get your hands on the reprints, give this engine a try, and if you have a nice friend who will lend you a tract, you're all set. And then the rest of the spells, we've got triple copies of Lure of Darkness, basically an engine card with the Thunders, because you banish and trigger their effects and draw 2. 1 of the Thunder Dragon Fusion, this is of course searchable off of your Dark. You're only going to be summoning Titan off it, but it does have that graveyard effect for the guaranteed follow-up. You can recycle it as many times as you need with the Roar. Still strong, even though we've only got the Titan as the only target. 1 copy of the Gold Sark, super powerful sack you 1 of. Glad it didn't get banned. Triple copies of the Forbidden Droplet. We unfortunately don't have as much room for going second cards. We have to use our engine to push through boards, but of course the best board breaker that we can play in a deck like this is the Forbidden Droplet, so we choose to max it out. And then the sacky 1-ofs, the Talent and the Call By. Are you going to play Talent and Call By in every deck you play going forward in this ratio? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to the extra, the Thunder package had to take a hit, so we're down to 2 Colossus. It killed me to cut the third one, but the more you play the deck, the more comfortable you get playing with a smaller package in the main and in the extra. So 2 Colossus and 1 copy of Titan is all you really need for the hard Thunders. But there will be a lot of times where you're ending on both of these, or maybe even all 3 in a single turn. I'm doing this in a really weird order, but more links. We've got SP Little Knight for those free banishes and removals, and of course its interactions with the continuous branded spell, and it is helpful to help protect some of your end board pieces with her banish effect. And I do still play the Cross Sheep, although part of me wants to cut this for Typhon. Let me tell you why. Cross Sheep enhances the potential of your end board, but Typhon is so free in Thunder Dragon. Why? You can slap it on top of a Titan at almost any point of your combo to round things off, stop a Nibiru in a pretty unexpected way, use it as a point of removal. It is so powerful, so I do want to find room for the Typhon, so I have to decide if I want the higher ceiling end board / extension through interruption, or if I want that hard backup plan. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. We still play the Chaos Angel, Broken Synchro. Again, Battery Man, Solar, plus any one of your Bystials is going to be the most common route you take to making this, but that removal, that Towers-like effect, it's crazy. The Snake-Eyed Doom Dragon, this is how it interacts with your YuGiOh. You put 2 monsters into the Spell and Trap zone, send them off to the graveyard. This guy comes out, he's got the ability to push a card back that your opponent controls. Think it's only a monster, but he is a level 8, so you overlay him with your Senjinjin, and you are able to go into the Zombie Vampire or the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, which ironically are the next cards we're going to take a look at together. We got the Zombie Vampire, and we've got the Photon Lord. Your anti-Nibiru plan, you can do this early, you can do it later. I like to go for it early, that's just me though, and if you don't have access to combo or you want to try and reach for another engine while still having Fiendsmith backup plan, you've got the Zombie Vampire as well. Choose them wisely, whichever one you think makes the most sense or whatever hand trap you feel like you need to play around. And then finally the Fiendsmith package, which is massive, but I think everyone knows what it is at this day, and everybody's going to be playing it still because it didn't get touched on the ban list, but you got the 1 Moon, the 1 Requiem, the 1 Sequence, the 1 Necro Quip, the 1 copy of the High King Caesar, and finally your Desiree, which you can send for the trap, or you can summon it with the Sequence, whichever play you're going for. I think commonly I tend to go in games 1 for the Caesar board, and in games 2 and 3, depending on the matchup, of course, going for the Desiree board, especially if you have to side out the Paradise for space reasons. So that is it for the extra. Side deck is gonna need some work, so if you guys got feedback for me, please do let me know. It's pretty reminiscent of the ones that I've shown previously, with a few changes here and there. I'm still playing triple copies of Ash Blossom. I'm not an enjoyer of this artwork, don't worry. I just thought it would be tilting to have 2 old CRs and 1 of the new ones. So 3 Ash are still on the side, but I'm thinking about changing the Ashes out for Drolls. What do you think about that idea? Let me know in the comments. I think it kind of conflicts, though, with our next card, which is the Mulcharmies. And I mean, of course, the going second card that we want to draw into more oftentimes than not off of this is usually the Forbidden Droplets. It's going to let you clear out so many different kinds of boards, and you can use your engine to do the rest. So I do want to play this now that I actually have access to it. Hopefully you have access to it now, too, with the price tanking on down. But it's still a weird card for me. I'm getting used to it. If you change it, hey, let me know. I missed the Droll, dude. I really missed the Droll. I do still play the triple copies of Lancia as a meme because I had 1 slot left. I kept in the Phantasme, so these are your side slots for the Malice matchup. You bring in the Lancias. You can also bring in the Phantasme. This card's kind of crazy, though. There's other matchups that it's good against. It's just a really goofy card. But again, this is your flex spot 1 of. You can change this for any other side deck card that makes sense for your locals or whatever event you're playing at. And I'm siding the 1 of Shifter. Dude, I don't know if it makes a lot of sense or not. If you disagree with this, you can tell me. You'd kind of have to side out almost the entire Fiendsmith package, or just choose not to play with it, or play with it in a very weird way if you're going to Shifter your opponent. There's some decks that it's good against, and there's others that it's not. And I mean, if you see it, you could just pass on playing the Fiendsmith cards. I don't know. It's up to you, but I still wanted to play the Saki Broken 1 of in the side deck. If you think it's wrong, though, you can tell me why. And then the last cards, I don't think these ones need to change. The 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. If you wanted to, one thing I was thinking about is cutting the Phantasme just for a copy of Thrust. If you want to play 2 more Thrust or another target, you could cut these 2, and then you've got Thrust, another target, but of course you got the Harpy's Feather Duster for any of those back row decks. Still decent against Blue Eyes, still decent against Labyrinth, all those crazy things. And then triple copies of the Solemn Judgment, another way to solve for our Dark Ruler or Droplets problem. But that is everything for this latest build of the Thunder Dragon Fiendsmith. Let's round things out with a quick combo. All right, my friends, are you ready for the greatest Master Duel special combo tutorial? Ready to go for the TCG? Ending on Colossus, full Fiendsmith combo, as well as safe from Nibiru. Well, let me introduce you into this 2-card combo using the Senjinjin and the Thunder Dragon Roar. We've made it even better from the last video that I featured these cards in. We throw the Senjinjin into the Spell and Trap card zone and use its effect, paying 2,000, summoning itself out and searching out the Golem. Now, when we put the Golem in, we're going to pay another 2,000 for its effect, which is going to grab us the YuGiOh Temple, and now it's as if we paid for a Destrudo. We're at 4,000. Don't use these cards in time. Be sure to side them out. You throw up the YuGiOh Temple and you use its effect, which will take the Roar from your hand, throw it in the Spell and Trap card zone, and take a Senjinjin from the deck and put it up there as well. Now, this is for the fun part. We send these two from the Spell and Trap zone to the graveyard to summon out the Snake-Eyed Doom Dragon. This is going to be summon number 3. We trigger the Roar. That's 4, bringing out the Dark from the deck, but summon number 5 to play around the Nibiru is going to be for our Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord here on the left. So now if they were to nib us, we can negate it. Next play, we take these two guys, link them off for the Closed Moon on the top, triggering the Dark's effect, which is going to search out the Thunder Dragon Hawk, and then we just do the full Fiendsmith combo, meaning we summon the Requiem goes into the Lacrima takes a dump, sends the Engraver, we go Requiem effect, reattach it to the Lacrima, send these two to the grave, summon out the Necroquip Princess from the extra deck, and then use the Engraver's effect in the graveyard, putting back the Moon Chick and summoning out the Engraver back to the field. Finally, you finish off the board, overlaying these two guys into the High King Caesar, and then activating the Hawk's effect, summoning back either one of the names you used earlier in the turn, the Dark or the Roar, it doesn't matter, we've already used their effects, and then you have used a Thunder effect in the hand, meaning you are able to cheat out a Colossus for free. So off of 2 cards, safe from Nibiru, we are ending on the Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, the DD King, High Caesar, whatever the heck, for 2 summon effect, negate and destroys, and then the Thunder Dragon Colossus to lock the opponent completely out of searching. I think this end board is insane, and I absolutely love this list. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for the craziest Yu-Gi-Oh decks you'll find nowhere else. Logan JY signing off. Have a great day. I'll see you good people later. Peace.